So to start off our unit on the changing surface of Earth, we're going to look at some landforms. So before we start watching, just take out your notebooks and prepare to take notes on these things here. So the landforms we're going to look at are plains, plateaus and mountains. So this picture here shows a lot of landforms. Which letter do you think points to plains? Which letter points to plateaus? And what letter points to mountains? Just think about that. So for plains, you should have thought of the letter C. For plateaus, G. And for mountains, of course, E. Okay, so first of all we'll look at plains. So these are pictures of plains all in North America. This one here is in Canada, this is in Alaska, and this is in Santa Barbara. If you had to use one word to describe these pictures, or the landforms in these pictures, what would it be? For me, that word would be flat. We can learn a little more about plains by looking at some satellite images. So this is from the north part of the United States and Canada. So here we have mountain range, but this inside area is an area of plains. So plains are often found in the interior of continents. And if we look at a satellite image from around here, we can learn a little bit more. So this satellite image close up shows us that there are many fields and things being grown. So plains have areas which have got fertile soil suitable for agriculture. And look at this road here. It is a very straight road because the ground is so flat. So to sum up, we can say that plains are large flat areas, often in the interior of continents, and that they often have thick fertile soils suitable for agriculture, as we can see here. And we can identify two different kinds of plains. The first is interior plains. So these are plains which are found in the interior, the inside parts of continents. So you can see from this picture here that the interior plains are shown in red, that a large part of North America, the interior part, is made of plains. And the other type of plains are coastal plains. So these are plains found around the sea areas. And from this map here of the United States, we can see that the coastal plains are shown here in green. So the coastal plains of the United States found here on the east side. And regardless of whether we're talking about coastal plains or interior plains, plains are formed in the same way, and this is by erosion from mountain ranges and a sediment being carried down by rivers and deposited, and these deposits form these flat areas of plains. So, for example, the coastal plains in the United States have been formed by rivers flowing east and depositing sediment, and that sediment forming these flat lands of the coastal plains. So we can move on to think about plateaus, and here are two pictures of plateaus. This one is from Siberia and this is from the United States. Now you'll see that there's something shared between plateaus and plains, that is that they're largely flat lands. But of course the difference is that they're flat lands which are separated from the surrounding land by steep cliffs, as you can see on this one here, and here the steep cliffs separating the plateau from the surrounding land. So plateaus are flat, raised areas of land that have been uplifted And they're different from plains because their edges rise steeply from the land around them. And the last kind of landforms we'll think about are mountains. So mountains are home to usually fewer animals than plains. Here's one, a mountain goat perched on a cliff. And mountains are of course used for humans for recreational purposes. People cycling. I think these look like sea cliffs rather than mountains, but you get the idea. And climbing. And these people have found a nice place to sleep on the cliff face of a mountain. And there are different types of mountains based on how they've been formed. So we'll look at these 4 different types of mountains here. So starting off with folded mountains, the idea is that you have the rock being compressed from both sides and it forms these folds, and these can be seen in the rocks. Second kind are upwarp mountains. So upwarp mountains form when blocks of Earth's crust are pushed up by forces within the Earth. So forces within the Earth cause this arching and blocks of rock are pushed up. Next kind is fault block mountains. So what are these here? As we studied before, these are normal faults, and these are formed when rocks pull apart and slip down. Slip down at these normal faults, leaving higher areas of fault block mountains in between the lower areas. And the last group of mountains, last type of mountain, is volcanic mountains. And these volcanic mountains are formed, of course, when molten material from inside the Earth comes to the surface and is cooled in layers over the years, forming these kinds of mountains. So just look carefully at these four pictures here of different mountains and see if you can decide which kinds they are. Okay, so just to finish off, just to check your understanding, in your notebooks do these 2 tasks here to check that you understand.